Hey everybody, Science Viking here, and while I'm back, I'm not actually going to be taking on Sen's Fortress just yet. There's something else I want to do first. Before I do this, I want to adjust my magic a little bit. I'm going to drop Great Chaos Fireball for combustion, and... I'll bring Great Fireball. I like Great Chaos Fireball a lot, but I don't have enough attunement slots to use it properly. Alright, let's head through here. And eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed this doorway that's been here for most of the game. I haven't gone through here before because we don't need to, and there's a monster on the other side of it. Because I haven't needed to, and so I decided I wasn't ready yet. I don't really need to yet, but it is one thing that I'm particularly interested in getting. And also because it'll be even more, over-leveled for it if I wait until it would really matter. Alright, the first thing we're going to deal with is, this is a Titanite Demon. Fighting these guys is the only way to get Demon Titanite, which, as I've mentioned before, is necessary to upgrade boss weapons. Now, you can try to deal with this guy in melee, but I really don't recommend it. Just use the crumbling masonry as cover, and use a ranged attack. I recommend a good old-fashioned buff. This guy will not respawn. The vast majority of Titanite Demons do not respawn. There is one respawning Titanite Demon in one, actually rather hidden area. So if you want to farm Demon Titanite infinitely to upgrade boss weapons, there's a place you can go to do that, and I'll show you where that is. The main thing is you don't want to let this guy get into melee with you, because his melee attacks are a lot harder to deal with than his ranged attacks. So it's easier to just let him spam the attack. But note, I haven't been hit once by this, so it doesn't really matter how low level I am if I can just keep dodging this guy forever until he runs out of health. Oh, I finally broke his poise. It took a while. And he's dead. Alright, I'll switch back to the sword. And he dropped an item. And I've kind of spoiled the surprise for you. That item is Demon Titanite. There are a couple of things we want to get here, including the second Ember that we're going to get in this playthrough. We don't need that Ember for quite a while yet, but we're going to get it now. As well as the Grass Crest Shield. And we'll be encountering another Dark Knight. But first we have these guys. These guys are somewhat dangerous, but there is a trick to them. And that trick is fire. Not really a very surprising trick, considering the fact that they're giant plants, but yeah, set them on fire. Darkroot Garden. And turn right. After you've killed the first plant guy and get the call out for the area you're in, turn right. And have some... and be attacked from behind. These guys are another enemy type that has a grab attack, where they just kind of fall on you, envelop you, and damage you a whole bunch, like those enemies I was talking about in Blighttown. The issue with that is that even if you have your shield up, you can't actually block their grab attack. Okay, so we head down here, and on our way down here, we will meet a Black Knight, so be ready. I'm pretty confident I can take him. I have Great Fireball. And yeah, now we're in Darkroot Basin. We aren't going to spend very much time down here, because it's mostly too high level for it, but there's one particular thing I want to grab. Oh, that's a crystal bug. When you kill those guys, they drop Titanite. Always. And they drop hard-to-find kinds of Titanite. Alright, keep an eye out, because we want to find the Grass Crest Shield. Alright. Dap down here. And we found the Hunter's gear. The Hunter's starting equipment. Which includes a bow, so if we didn't already have a bow, we would now. Keep looking around. There's at least supposed to be a Dark Knight here, so... and keep going down. Yeah, this place seems really safe and cozy, and there's not really anything here, so yep! And the moment I say that, yeah, the moment you start to feel safe, this guy shows up. a halberd dart. Fortunately, you saw how much damage I took out of his health with one hit. And it's gone. This is why I like Great Fireman. Okay, he gives us a blue Titanite chunk, which can be used to upgrade magic and enchanted weapons. I'm not putting a single point into intelligence for this character, so I don't really care for that. Alright? And the Grass Crest Shield. Let's check the Grass Crest Shield out for a second, compared to our current shield. And I'm going in the wrong direction again. Alright? Hit end. No, hit delete. What game am I thinking of that... Yeah, I've been away from Dark Souls for too long. Alright. Grass Crest Shield, hit delete. It blocks more magic and fire than our current weapon. Same amount of lightning. It blocks almost as much physical, though it has quite a bit less stability. However, having it equipped causes our stamina to recover faster. This is quite useful. I'm not going to be using it for right now, but I am actually going to want it for Sen's Fortress. Now, if we go through this hole here, we find a bonfire. I'm not going to do much with this, but I am going to light it because... Actually, I may as well rest at it so I can get fully replenished. I'm mainly lighting this bonfire because I'm fairly sure we can warp to this bonfire. Alright, switch back to combustion, because the Dark Knight will not come back, but the plant monsters will. And run up here. And for those of you who know what this means, we're going to be taking on the Moonlight Butterfly today. Alright, quick through here. Now first, let's see what would happen if I decided to continue this way. You see, there's some loot there. There's new enemies I haven't seen before. Let's see what would happen if I decided I wanted to explore this area for a while. And you may already be able to hear it coming. Get that large soul of a nameless soldier. See that creature over there. And that will happen. And it will start launching these giant water projectiles that are quite hard to dodge and do quite a bit of damage. So yeah, you don't really want to be here. I may come back here and take the Hydra on, but the main benefit of taking on the Hydra is that it's necessary to get to the DLC if you have the DLC. I have the DLC, but I'm not going to be including the DLC in this Let's Play for a couple of reasons, including the fact that, frankly, confession time, I've never actually beaten Artorias. I've beaten the main game, but I've never beaten Artorias, because, well, he's really, really tough. So I'll probably come back and Let's Play the DLC, maybe as a different character, but right now I'm going to just focus on completing the base game. Alright, we're going to quick rush back up here. Very narrow ledge, but this ledge doesn't really give me the same fear of falling that I have in other areas. Maybe it's just the fact that I find this kind of huge, dense foliage look to be really calming, and I always have. Alright, let's first go back this way to make sure this guy doesn't follow us. And yeah, the combustion pyromancy is really helpful in this. Not even going to bother grabbing that because I might fall off the ledge. And see this bush? Yep, that's another one of them. They like to hide in the ground. Ow. Makes me want to call them Thrall for reasons you'll find out about later. Okay, I'm going to take a quick swig. I took some damage from that. I am human because there is an NPC that you can summon for the boss fight I'm going to be getting into. Alright, and we'll have the option to turn right, but we don't want to yet. This door requires the Crest of Artorias, which Andre is willing to sell us for the low, low price of about 50,000 souls. It's worth it because A, we need to get through this door to complete the game, and B, the enemies on the other side of it drop a lot of souls each and respawn. Going down this way will take us to the area leading to the boss. But first, walk up to this doorway, and it looks like it's a doorway that's been bricked over. Because the bricks are fake. Light this bonfire. Let's rest at it for a second. And let's head through. Not even refreshing the recording file, because this is going to be a fairly short part no matter what. May as well just get it all done in one file. Now there is this treasure. This treasure is a trap. Let's go with Fire Orb. Because see all these bushes around here? They will rise up to ambush you the moment you grab it. Now I'm feeling greedy, but I want to be ready to escape the moment that happens by doing that. Now I want long range fire, see? It's easy to get surrounded if you do that, and if you get surrounded, it's easy to get horribly killed. So you want to be careful. Alright, switch back to combustion. This is not a boss fight. We want to be careful. There are a lot of enemies in this area, but it's possible to get through only aggroing a small portion of them at a time. You want to be careful and make sure and do that. Also, you may see what looks like a stone knight who's fallen over on his back. These are a new enemy type. Be careful around them. They're tough, they have a lot of health, so they take plenty of damage from pyromancy. We're a bit over leveled for this area. The other issue is they do that. That is a miracle. That miracle is Tranquil Walk of Peace. It imposes a limit on the movement speed of anything within a certain distance of it when it's cast. These guys can prevent you from running or dodge rolling if they cast that miracle while you're too close to them. You don't want that. However, for a level 12 Pyromancy Catalyst, they take quite a bit of damage from even a basic Fireball, and they drop 600 souls. So they're kind of like a slightly easier version of the Infested Barbarians. Okay. I'm going to retreat because the plant thing is going to follow me faster than the knight will so that I can force them to separate from each other. Dodge the whip. Take the hit anyway. Switch back to my regular fireball. That was really more luck than skill that he didn't have. That was skill. Alright. This is the thing. This area is full of ambushes. So you need to be patient and be ready to retreat back towards the bonfire. And that's the Elite Knight set. That is not the armor that the Knight class starts with. That's separate armor. That's superior to what the Knight class does. Someday I may deliberately allow myself to be hit by a grab attack to demonstrate how they work. But the issue is the enemies that use them, I keep running into them in places where I really don't want to die. Okay, and now I'm actually low enough on fireballs that my second hit is something other than a fireball. Ow. Okay, break the lock on him, retreat. I might be able to make it. I might be able to close with him and finish him off with combustion, but it's not worth the risk. This is what I mean, that a large part of surviving in Dark Souls is knowing when you need to just retreat and come back later. And he's down. Note that combustion does considerably less damage than fireball. I think that hasn't been apparent yet because I don't generally use them on the same enemies. And through here. Feel around and touch the summon sign for Witch Beatrice. We really don't need her help for this fight because A, we're over-leveled, and B, this is a pathetically easy opponent. But we may as well bring her in. And the thing is, summoning her for this fight makes her summonable for a later fight where we will actually need her help. Now that we've summoned her, head up the stairs and through the fog wall to take on the Moonlight Butterfly. The Moonlight Butterfly is an interesting opponent. A lot of people hate this boss fight, but it is, in my opinion, even if you come here as soon as you're capable of getting here, the easiest boss fight in Dark Souls. The issue is, because it can fly, you have to wait. For the majority of the fight, you can't hit it. Those are homing shots, so you pretty much have to dodge the moment that they reach you, like that. Dodge roll towards them the moment that they get to where you are. Also, if you manage to avoid being killed, Witch Beatrice can take out the Moonlight Butterfly completely without your help. It's one of the reasons why I'm not really using my bow in this fight, and I'm planning on just breaking up the Pyromancer. If you have trouble with this fight, all of the damage the Moonlight Butterfly causes is magic. And yeah, it will periodically land somewhere, and then it's vulnerable to magic. And it's dead. I only hit it once. And we get our second boss soul, though this is likely to be the first boss soul the player gets. And we got 10,000 souls, that's quite nice. The soul of the Moonlight Butterfly can be used to create two different weapons. The Crystal Ring Shield, which is a shield that blocks 100% of magic, and instead of parrying, launches little blasts of energy that cause magic damage. Or the Moonlight Butterfly Horn, which is a spear that deals I believe entirely magic damage, maybe it's just mostly magic damage, and inflicts, and scales really well with intelligence, so it's not a bad weapon for sorcerers. I may actually get the Crystal Ring Shield, because having a shield that blocks 100% of magic will probably be useful to me in certain fights. Also, if you use the Moonlight Butterfly soul, you only get 2,000 souls, so I suppose you may as well use it to make something. Also, this is the first boss soul we've encountered that can be made into two different things. How, then, if you only get one copy of the soul, can you make two different... can you get the achievement for getting every boss weapon? The answer is, Dark Souls has a New Game Plus feature. On a second playthrough, you keep all of your equipment. So, in order to get the achievement, you have to, for example, use the Moonlight Butterfly soul in your first playthrough to make either the shield or the spear, and then on the second playthrough, use it to make the other of the two to complete the set. There are several boss souls that can be used to make more than one weapon. In fact, there is one boss soul that can be used to make 3, which means, and it's a boss we haven't met yet, which means you need to be most of the way through a third playthrough, minimum, in order to get all of the unique weapons. There's a reason why, last time I checked, about 0.5%, maybe it's 1/5% of the people who have Dark Souls have that achievement. Now, at the other side of the bridge you fought the Moonlight Butterfly on, there's a tower. Climb up that tower, and there's what appears to be a dead blacksmith. Pillage his corpse, and we get the Watchtower basement key, and the Divine Ember, and a homeward bone. I have a bit to talk... And he's been turned to stone. Has he been cursed? Interesting. I have a bit to talk about, so I'm not going to use the homeward bone immediately. Here's the thing about the Divine Ember. If we give the Divine Ember to Andre, he can make divine weapons. I talked about them before in the depths, granting immunity to... granting extra magic damage based on your faith stat. Now, you'd think that wouldn't be useful at all to me, because, well... I don't put points into my faith stat. I don't put points into my intelligence stat either. I put points into attunement, and that's the only magic stat I level up because I'm a pyromancer. However, divine weapons have, as I said, they have the divine auxiliary effect, and we're going to need the divine auxiliary effect in order to get through the catacombs. The catacombs is an area that we have to get through later in the game. It's the area on the other side of the graveyard in Firelink Shrine where those skeletons keep coming from. It's full of those skeletons. And basically, inside of the catacombs, the skeletons will get back up after you kill them. Infinitely. The reason for this is because of other enemies called necromancers who are working with the skeletons. Each necromancer controls a handful of skeletons, and killing that necromancer means its particular skeletons will stop getting back up. In addition, the necromancers don't respawn when you rest at a bonfire, but the skeletons do, so once you've killed all the necromancers, once the skeletons will no longer come back to life. However, I'll demonstrate this when we get to that part. However, If you kill a skeleton with a divine weapon, it will die and stay dead, even if it would normally be brought back. Also, there is more stuff that we can find in Darkroot Garden. I'm just not going to go after it, because, frankly, none of it's really that useful. I may come back for it later when we need to go through this place more thoroughly. I'd rather not die. Alright, have a quick combustion on this guy. I have quite a few souls. So, I'm going to equip myself with a divine weapon, probably just a divine ascended Balder side sword, when I go through the catacombs, because it's easier than the other option. And I'm deliberately kind of trying to demonstrate the simplest route through this game. Alright. Also, I have almost 30,000 souls. You might think I'm going to spend these to level up my character. I'm not. I'm going to spend them to level up my pyromancy flame, because I'm still in an area where I can easily access pyromancy trainers to level up my pyromancy flame. And we're back in the Undead Parish. As you can see, while the other enemies did respawn, the Titanite Demon did not. So, up these stairs, and let's go talk to Andre, and hopefully not accidentally attack him this time.
My, that's a rare ember you have there. I've seen one of those before. It's the ember of a divine blacksmith. Might you consider leaving that with me? I could produce divine weapons with a flame such as that.
And yes, let's let Andre have
Thanks
it.
for that. You've made a fine decision. You soon shall see.
And let's leave for now. But let's check this. So now, in addition to normal, raw, and undo, we also have divine. Divine, as you can see, requires green Titanite shards, and is what I'm going to use my green Titanite shards for.
I'll be seeing you then. Be careful out there.
And the divine auxiliary effect increases the damage against certain enemy types. Those enemy types include skeletons. So the fact that the divine weapon will probably be doing less damage overall, because I have a low faith stat, will be made up for by the fact that it will be doing more damage to the only enemy type I'm actually going to use against it. Just at the spot there. And that's the end of this part. I'm going to do the last bit of my preparations for taking on Sen's Fortress, which basically is spending my souls because I'm going to die a lot in Sen's Fortress, kindling this bonfire and stocking up on arrows, and then I'll be back hopefully soon with that last part. So in the meantime, this is Science Viking, signing off, and I love you all. See you next time.